What's up, everybody? I'm Jason, this is the Freebird Garage, and we are on a test ride and review for the chain conversion for my Harley Davidson FXR, the inaugural first ride. Literally, I just pulled this out of the garage. Finally, weather's beautiful here in Michigan. That's what we're doing today. Gonna see how the difference feels of it all. Don't mind my voice. I was out late this weekend here doing some shenanigans, and biggest fear whenever you're doing major work like this is, of course, things falling apart. But right now, so far so good. Alright, so there's a couple points to go over first on this chain conversion. If you've never seen the videos of me installing this, you should go back and check it out. It's a good 6 videos. I go in depth on each part of this chain conversion, pretty much mirroring what the book shows to take off the inner primary, torque specs and everything. So I try to go as depth as impossible for anyone else that's looking to do it. So hopefully that helps anyone else trying to put one together or get one on to get it done. Now, the tooth or teeth setting on my bike that I went with was a front sprocket of a 24 tooth, and then down on the back rear sprocket we're looking at a 48 count tooth, and that's pretty much close to stock. I didn't go extreme one or the other. I wanted to see in general first how I liked the chain, if it was going to be even noticeable at this moment, because I didn't want to get rid of my top end for driving on the highway just yet, and I didn't feel like having a super long highway ends or super long gear for being able to drive on the highway, because I needed to see, one, how this thing reacted to it. And right now, to be honest, it feels pretty normal. I like it. Like, it feels, let's see here, we'll get around this corner, get on it a little bit. Oh yeah. I mean, that was from first to second, and it already feels way more responsive than over the belt. Like, you can feel the back end wanting to just pick up way better than it used to be. Actually, while we're out here today, I'm picking up some Chinese food for my family, because that's what we're doing today also. So let's scoop that up, and then we'll kind of get a little more into this whole review just a tad bit more. Awesome, thank you. Back to why you clicked on the video. It feels like it snags way faster into each gear when you wrap it up. Like, there's no hesitation. That's why chains are why they are. It's for the zero slack, and I like it already for that fact. And I thought there was going to be ample amount of chain noise, to be honest, and I don't hear anything. I mean, it's rolling back there, and I don't hear a chatter noise. Oh, hold on, if I get real quiet. Correction, there is a very, very light chain noise, but between the sound of the exhaust and cruising, you don't even notice it. That's not bad at all. So I'm excited about that. Now, when you tear all this stuff apart, you put new gaskets on. I did all new seals, trans seals, all that stuff on this bike, and I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't just a tad bit nervous that something still wasn't going to hold up as far as the leaks after everything's been warmed up now. So what we're going to do is, I need gas in this. This is literally the tank from last year. So I don't believe in stable. For those out there that like to store their bike, I don't believe in that crap. Not my favorite place to get gas. I'm just not a fan of Citgo. Alright, so we fixed the leaks that were coming from the inner primary that I had, and generally once I started riding, everything got warmed up. Maybe about the size of a dime to the size of a quarter. of oil leaking from the primary. So as of right now, it's looking dry. Awesome. And like I said, we replaced the fifth main gear seal, the transmission seal, the inner primary, the outer primary, of course, and every other seal you can think of, all brand new. And so far, looks awesome. Cool. So back on the road and finish up this review on the chain. Oh yeah! I mean, I guess for it still being a stock gear ratio, you can feel the front just kind of wanting to actually start to pop off just on a nice first to second shift here. So let me get ahead here. Woo! All right. Definitely can tell the difference right there. That was a good way of doing it. Shifting from that right off the gate, I felt like the reaction time was way faster than the stock. So, very excited about that. All right. It just feels, like I said, it just feels solid in the rear. Like normally you get this, I don't know, like you're still kind of dragging ass behind you. The rear end's still coming. And you don't notice that, of course, it's everything's always belt. But now switching to a chain conversion on this, it just feels way more snappier on this. So very pleased with that. So what we do is we're going to go through this road here, got a little bit of a twist, hop on the freeway essentially, and see how the wider gears react from there. And of course, I didn't talk about, which may or may not be in the title when I get done with this video, this is a Vulcan Engineering sprocket or chain conversion kit on it. It's all Vulcan Engineering. It's not pieced together from one place to the other, and that's what I've gone with on this one. So, and they all had, or they had the best explanation and setup as far as getting the right setup on my bike. That's why I loved going through them in particular. I'm not sponsored by them at all. Just went on different sites, and that's kind of what it led towards me on getting into the Vulcan Engineering chain kit. So very pleased with all of those pieces on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo! I missed that. Oh man, that feels good. Yes, the difference is huge now, more than getting on it like that. Wow. I'm pretty blown away, but I didn't think that it was going to show much of a difference, being that, like I said, the same gear ratio, but hammering down on that, it just wants to just go. Woo! So right now too, I'm at 70 miles an hour, and I'm about 4 grand or 3,900 RPMs. The gear set, I think, bumped it about roughly maybe 200 RPMs, maybe 100 RPMs. I would be right about 3,800 at 70 miles an hour coming in, so not too bad. So you're still getting a bit of a torque pickup, a low end pickup from that gear set, still being a 24 in the front and a 48 tooth in the back. And what we're gonna do, just to make sure, we're gonna do one last stop, look at the primary and everything else here. Like I said too, the drip would start pretty much immediately after I stopped the bike. So we're looking for that, and we'll see how the gear looks still in the back. Man, it's windy today. Looks good. Nothing's dripping. Looks still dry down there. Oh, got a little oil coming from the casing. That's not bad though. That's easy to fix. Cool. Chain's looking good. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to adjust this probably after I get done. Once you get some torque on that chain, obviously you got the lubricant downside of having a chain too. But if I get my chain cover put back on, that essentially takes care of any of the liquid or the lubricant getting sprayed or dirt getting shoved up into here, which I know is a common problem for guys that don't cover up their chains so on their bikes. But cool, let's finish it up. Man, it feels awesome out. Michigan, everyone talks about, I know, weather and all their YouTube channels, other motovloggers that are out there, but you really can't beat it. This is why we do it and get out and ride. Like, it feels so good on your skin when the weather is just right warm and the bike's running well. Awesome feeling, especially the satisfaction of just getting the work done yourself. Like, you put all this time in it during the winter time, and you know, you don't know what it's gonna be like when you get out. A lot of times it's a bust if you don't do it correctly, obviously, or you know, you might have missed a step. It happens to me a lot where I forget something, or you know, because you're doing so much, you're trying to cover everything, that some things just fall through the cracks once in a while. But this one is a home run. Try to get to a spot less windy, just easier to understand. Okay, kind of wrapping this whole thing up. The overall thoughts on this Vulcan Engineering chain conversion: it's a win! I didn't think the gear difference would make it, just like I've said multiple times throughout this video, and it stays very true. It feels great, it feels snug, it feels like it just wants to just rip it in every gear, very tight to each one, and the front end feels like it's starting to want to actually pick up from the new gear ratio, or somewhat new gear ratio on there. And I love it. I think this is a great setup if you are looking to get into the chain conversion. The noise level is not there. It is, like, I would say out of 1 to 10, it's probably a 2, if anything, that's on there. So very happy about that. And no leaks, the primary. That is so exciting to see, after putting all that work into making sure every seal was bought correctly and put in correctly with the same tools, everything measured to spec by the book. We got it. The primary does not leak. So, is this an oil-free FXR? Is that a thing? Can you possibly have one, I guess? That about wraps up for me on this one, guys. I would greatly appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button, tap that like, press that notification, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. And for those that have already subscribed, thank you. As always, stay free, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!